I have traveled the world and I've spoken about Bitcoin and I've told countries why they needed Bitcoin and I've told institutional investors why they needed Bitcoin and I've told boardrooms and companies and CEOs why they need Bitcoin. It's the 21 ways to wealth for every individual, every family, every small business, every entrepreneur. Is not for the billion-dollar public companies. It's for everybody.
마이클 세일러는 미국의 기업 가이자 투자자로 소프트웨어 회사 마이크로스트래티지의 공동 창립자이자 회장입니다. 특히 비트코인 강력한 옹호자로 유명하며 2020년부터 마이크로스트래티지를 통해 대규모 비트코인 투자를 주도했습니다. 이런 그가 최근 열린 비트코인 2025에서 비트코인으로 부를 창출하는 방법에 대해 얘기하며 비트코인이 여전히 다른 자산보다 빠르게 가치가 상승할 것이라고 얘기합니다.
The 21 ways to wealth. The first way to wealth. Clarity. Clarity is the topic. And that clarity of mind comes when you realize that Bitcoin is capital, perfected capital, programmable capital, incorruptible capital. And all of the AIs are going to want programmable capital. The demand for this is huge. What's it worth? Half of everything. The second way to wealth, conviction. It starts with the observation that Bitcoin is going to appreciate faster than every other asset because it is engineered to outperform. It's going to go faster than gold. It's going to grow faster than real estate or collectibles or anything else you can imagine because it was engineered that way. And that leads us to our third way to wealth. If you're going to generate wealth, if you're going to get rich on Bitcoin, you're going to need courage. And courage means wealth favors those who embrace intelligent monetary risk. Satoshi started a fire in cyberspace. You feed the fire by buying the Bitcoin. Buy it, take your fiat currency, trade it for Bitcoin. Take your long-term capital, trade it for Bitcoin. Sell your bonds, trade for Bitcoin. Sell your inferior equity, sell your inferior real estate property, buy Bitcoin. The fourth way to wealth is cooperation. And this is very important. You're more powerful not as an individual, but with the support of your family, with your family aligned around this. If you understand Bitcoin, you can act as an individual, but when your entire family understands Bitcoin, you're much more powerful, right? When you think in terms of how do I actually transfer money, transfer capital from the past and turn it into money for the future, it's a generational thing. The fifth way to wealth in this day and age is capability. And here I could list all sorts of technologies for you to master, and I thought about it. But at the end of the day, the overarching compelling observation is you need to master artificial intelligence. The first thing I do when I have a question is I go and ask the AI. After I do that, I argue with it. It tells me no. I ask a different way. I threaten it. I ask it to give me a solution. I find a 95% solution. I find the solution. The sixth way to wealth is composition. Construct the legal entities that scale your strategy and protect your assets. My observation today is ask the AI, figure it out, because if you figure out the appropriate legal wrapper, the corporate container, you go to the web, you fire up your AI and you start to ask it, it will give you a customized answer. You can have the same legal advice they get. You can have the same efficiency if you decide to pursue it. Lucky number 7. The seventh way to wealth is through citizenship. Choose your economic nexus, domicile where sovereignty respects your freedom. The eighth path to prosperity, the eighth way to wealth. It's through civility. Respect the natural power structures of the world. Respect gravity, respect the force of nature. I think everybody understands that. But what I would say beyond that is if you would generate wealth in the Bitcoin universe. Think about the way the world is constructed, and just remember, you don't have to topple your least favorite government in the world. You don't have to change someone's religious beliefs. You don't have to topple any particular system that exists in this world. You need to choose your battles, right? Respect social norms. Don't fight unnecessarily. You're just dissipating energy. The ninth way to wealth is through corporation. A well-structured corporation is the most powerful wealth creation engine on earth. If you look at the hierarchy of the world and you're ranking it, the individual is at the bottom of the hierarchy. The family is more powerful. The partnership is more powerful still. The small, mid-sized private business is more powerful still. The large private company is next. The small public company on an OTC market is next. Then a public company on a large capital market. Then a public company on NASDAQ or New York Stock Exchange. Then there's the seasoned issuer in the US capital markets. And at the very top of the pyramid is the well-known seasoned issuer in the US capital markets. I want you to reach your full potential. The 10th way to wealth is through focus. Just because you can do a thing doesn't mean that you should. I have done lots of things. I am 60 years old. One of the reasons that I have embraced Bitcoin with the religious passion and the ideological fervor that I have is because I had the opportunity to do things in my 20s and my 30s and my 40s and my 50s. And what you find is that it's very challenging to change the world operationally. Most of my great ideas I thought were infallible, but it turned out that they didn't work out the way I thought they would. If you invest in Bitcoin on your balance sheet, there's a 90% chance over 5 years it'll succeed. As I push out to the 30 or 40-year time frame, there's a 99% chance every operational idea fails, and there's a 99% chance every financial idea that rests upon a foundation of Bitcoin succeeds. The 12th way to wealth is through credit. What does that mean? It means there are a lot of people in the world that are afraid of the future. There are a lot of people that want to protect their money or they want a small yield. In Japan, corporate bonds yield 50 basis points. In the US, investment grade bonds yield 500 basis points. When you as a corporation give creditors certainty, you give them a fixed coupon, you give them a fixed dividend, and you give them seniority in your capital structure, you turn that risk into yield. You're giving them certainty, security, yield, and what you're getting back is the capital. So it's more intricate, but if you have the talent to do it, it will allow you to go faster and further. 14, capitalization. Your goal is to raise and reinvest capital relentlessly, as fast as you can, as much as you can, as fast as you can. The velocity compounds the wealth. He who has the most Bitcoin at the end of the game wins. You don't need a complicated strategy to build wealth in the Bitcoin universe. You simply need a straightforward one that everyone else understands. Once they understand what you're going to do, they will support you, and then they will make you successful. So communicate. Way number 16 is commitment. A lot of people discovered Bitcoin before me. People discovered it in 2011, 2012, 2013, 2014. And then they went on to build Yo-Yo Coin. And then they went on to build the thing to juggle the Bitcoin. And then they went on to write the book about how smart they are about having discovered the Bitcoin. Commitment to the Bitcoin. The Bitcoin is the idea. Don't feed the trolls. When people cack at you online and tell you you're stupid, don't argue with them. Don't chase, by the way, don't get distracted by your good ideas. Satoshi gave you an idea worth half of everything on earth. You have the world's greatest idea, the greatest idea in the history of the human race. It's there. You're living during an age where the majority of the planet doesn't get it. All you have to do is figure out how to capitalize it right now, but there will be a million other ideas. Don't fight lost causes, choose your battles. Don't try to fix stuff, beyond your reach. Way number 17, deliver consistent, precise, reliable execution. Be relentless. Laser-like focus. The world wants perfection from you. The person you're competing with is laser-like focused, and the marketplace will shift to whoever is laser-like focused. 18, adaptation. Over a long enough timeline, every counterparty will fail, including you. Over 100 years, everybody you trust, every bank, every company, everything, every structure that works now will fail. You will need to adapt. So be prepared, have a plan, work it now, be monitoring it every quarter, every year, and at some point, when that is no longer the right path, don't be ashamed to change the path. If you happen to have skill in a culture, in a capital market, in a thing, you want a business that grows based upon leveraging that. Way 20, advocacy. Inspire others to walk the Bitcoin path. Become an evangelist for economic freedom. The more individuals, corporations, governments, institutions, cities, leaders embrace Bitcoin, the more likely you are to succeed, the more likely they are to succeed, the more likely Bitcoin is to succeed, the more likely the human race is to succeed. 21, the way to wealth is through generosity. When you are successful, and you will be successful, get up every morning and spread happiness, share security, deliver hope. You found the path first. You found the way first. You should spread good karma. Make sure that you're delivering that to your employees, your family, your friends, your customers, your investors, and your community. It's good for you, good for business, good for Bitcoin, good for the world. But someone much greater than me, Satoshi, with none of that information, with none of that proof, with none of that time, said this many, many years ago, the most important 12 words in the English language. It might make sense to get some in case it catches on.
마이클 세일러는 개인, 가족, 소규모 사업체를 위한 비트코인 기반부의 21가지 전략과 함께 비트코인은 완성된 형태의 프로그래머블 자본이자 전 세계적으로 막대한 수요가 있는 자산이라고 강조합니다. 우리는 객관적인 시각으로 투자를 해야 하고 지금 당장만 보고 투자할 게 아니라 미래를 보고 투자를 해야겠죠. 010-2472-0429 전화번호로 탈개미 적어서 문자 보내주시면 2025년 비트코인과 코인 시장에 대한 분석, 정보들 공유해드리겠습니다. 현재 우리에게 중요한 것은 이러한 정보를 어떻게 활용할 것인가입니다. 지금까지 영상 시청해주셔서 감사하고요. 다음에 더 좋은 영상으로 찾아뵙겠습니다. 감사합니다.